Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the NEBVEMBER tournament. We are in, let's see, this would be game set 5. This is going to be Freakbob's Fenthouse squaring off against SANDJOVER. Freakbob's Fenthouse is Team 1 in ANS, which consists of Cosmic Eradicator, Spy Eye, Cosmic Eradicator, and Cosmic Eradicator.
Yeah, very consistent. Very, very
I am
intelligible.
Necaboy Blue, and Scape GT is going to tell you who is playing up against these players.
Hello, everyone. Team 2 is the Unk Stack. This is SANDJOVER. We have Snipes, Quiz, Heaven-Based, which is Herman, and Hellcringe, who is Hunter. Freakbob's Fenthouse lost the first one on Blood Moon, so we are here on Tumbleweed. They got to choose the map, and they choose Tumble as the second one. Taking a look at the deployments right now, I am seeing double carrier from SANDJOVER right now. I'm assuming they assumed that the Tumbleweed pick is due to an all-in beam strat, so they're probably bringing the double rocket carrier here. Meanwhile, Freakbob's Fenthouse does not bring beams. I'm seeing a lot of CL groups here. A couple
This
of
is a
Corvette
very interesting
clusters.
setup.
Ooh, I think I know what this is. I'm willing to bet that Freakbob's Fenthouse chose Tumble deliberately to force the assumption that they were bringing all beams, forcing the opponent to do this double R2 strike carrier strat. We'll see if I'm right with that guess, because I'm seeing a lot of these dispersed sprinters, which I believe Freakbob was talking about as their counter to Cuda spam. Lots of CLs.
We've seen a lot of Barracudas throughout the tournament do very good R2 strike. That said, the SDM2 is a lethal device, and a VLS2 full of those in a Corvette can quickly deplane a carrier if they don't see it coming.
Right. Yeah, not a lot of frontline here from SANDJOVER against all of those CLs. Oh, what the rocket liner? Huh? Okay.
That's a tech for this map. Okay. I'm seeing a triple, what's this triple Corvette pair, or triple Corvette.
VLS 200?
What do you call it? Trio?
Or...
Trio, yeah. All right, I'm going to just read off ANS real quick here. So we're going to see Task Force Birch equivalent coming from the first Cosmic Eradicator. This can be triple Vox here. Pretty standard stuff all around. Defenders, rebounds on these. Noticeably lack of a bullseye, so just going to rely on their... These are just frontline.
Uh-oh.
They have
Spy
an 8
Eye.
parallax. Okay.
Spy Eye going with the Cherami tactics.
Okay, apparently. I can't tell if they're memeing or if they're serious. That's already a great start. So the second Cosmic Eradicator is going to be a 250 Vauxhall. This one has defenders and a VLS2 on the back. Going to see a bunch of hybrids in there, as well as some SDM2s. They're going to have a Yub brick in the back line, VLS2s on this thing. Let's check that complement. It's just 80 SDM2s.
Yep. They did it. They forced the beam assumption. They forced the beam assumption. Ooh, this is going to be interesting.
Blanket Jam, Gun Capper towards top of the map is going to accompany that CL. We're going to see a VLS3 Pinard device with bullseye. That's got torpedoes and hybrids in it.
Oh,
this is the real
Cosmic.
Coming
this
out.
is the real Cosmic. The orbital long-range torpedoes from the real Cosmic here are a very, very funny tactic to see, and they work. It's really crazy.
Gun Capper, or not Gun Capper, actually just Picket device going towards 8-point there for the cap. Lastly, wait. Hang on a second. No, it's too many Cosmics on this team. Okay.
Uh-oh.
So that last Cosmic has a picket, or just, yeah, it's just got a defender on it going onto the B point there. The third Cosmic Eradicator is going to be a pair of Vauxhalls here with VLS2 backpack. A lot of SDM2s on these. The SDM2 count is through the roof already. We are seeing like...
They did it.
120, 130 something out of these. There's a lot.
They forced the assumption of all-in beam strat, I think. And they are
Gem
capitalizing
Vet,
off
and
of
then
that.
just two naked picket assets here as bait. Spy Eye comes in with, looks like dispersed wings here. We're seeing VLS2s and 3s across these Corvettes.
One of them is
going to have...
low, is likely going to hunt for those carriers. One diving the opposite way. Yeah, this is a carrier hunting.
The hybrid, yeah, size 3 hybrids with bullseye, size 2 hybrids as well, and then a size 2, yep, just a bunch of those missiles. That is a flank and a half underneath the map. They might run into one of the liners here. Spy Eye has, yep, another wing roaming at the top. They're forcing this, the hard read of the century here.
Yep.
Scape, tell me, what are they hunting?
Well, I was right. This is double R2 carrier. As I'm seeing, no, Sidewinders are defensive. That's 330 R1s and 266 on the other one. Yep. Team Freakbob's Fenthouse with the hard read on what the enemy's bringing. They force the enemy to assume a max beamstone tactic here. As you can see, now the SDMs are coming in. Fulcrum does manage to
wisely baits
dodge.
them into the rock there. Good work on their part. That said, this is only the first of many.
To chew through. Pyrope
sends her regards, they say. All right, we're gonna see just
I do know why. I do know why they're saying that. These are Pyrope SDM 200s. These were built by Pyrope specifically.
CMD acts. Fulcrum is out in the open, and they're gonna eat it.
They're gonna get
instant annihilation
by the
of
SDM
that wing.
200s. It should be worth mentioning that even if ANS runs out of SDM 200s, those CL groups with the 250 RPF are going to be devastating against these fighters. These are not bombers; these are fighters. So yeah. Anyway, continuing the rollout of what OSP is bringing, it is Snipes and Herman on the carriers here. Hellcringe, who is Hunter, looks like they're going to be running the cap fleet here. It looks like double 250 liner. One of them already target locked and under fire from one of the sprinter groups here. It is firing back, though. It does acquire them and is returning fire, although it is taking some missile fire. It will likely probably win that fight unless Spy Eye here full dumps. Meanwhile, the other one is being engaged by the CLs at just below Boxer here. Is it being jammed out? It's being jammed out. I can't detect them. Rounding out.
That's a very light
Hunter
damage
here.
control on this liner that we're looking at. Only 4 teams.
They're cap guard liners. Anyway, Quiz here running the full-in rocket liner. Okay, with various...
Streak Flight, just briefly interrupting there on the 8 point, going to experience a significant emotional event as, oh my god, the SDM-2s let fly.
Rocket as well, as Streak gets eviscerated. Rocket Squadron soon to follow, as well as Claw and Sunder are under SDM-200 fire as well. These squadrons are coming in to support one of Hunter's liners on the flank here. Eat all of these
Bunch
missiles.
of size
Claw
1s as well. Fighter killers. They brought multiple layers to their defense.
As
this Corvette flank probably going to get taken out, but still, that's a lot of damage dealt.
The other one, though, is completely uncontested. And the carriers are spotted! Target lock on Snipes' carrier.
That's going to be a hell dump here.
Will Spy Eye program before they die here? We will see. Yes!
It's going to be a little risky with the number of fighters, given that they can commit to strike. We'll see if they get the launch off. R2s will splash one of these.
Yep, Claw is going to
getting a little close for comfort.
This squadron here, and it looks like the SD, it loses target lock. However, the target lock, the identification where the carriers are, leaves the other strike group completely open to do a strike here. Quiz, I didn't even go over the rest of what Quiz is bringing. Quiz is bringing a mixture of Ruddles scattered around the map and gun cappers here, along with the rocket liner.
Yeah, the rocket liner, a bit of a weird tech. We've seen rocket backpack before, but the pure rocket liner is a specific to this map choice, trying to get the equivalent of a beam battleship. A little bit squishier.
ANS attempting an E-cap here. Ruddle rushing in to try and take the cap. Rockets are firing. Only one rocket gets launched before the ship gets disabled by the orbiting CL.
Rocket impacts, not a whole lot of damage dealt to that thing. It's going to just soak this finally. CL's going to sweep through.
Does manage
Spy Eye undetected in the backfield with their other flank here. Potentially gets eyes on the carrier now. Impending doom might be flying out here.
Spy Eye knows exactly what the carriers are. These ones are about to get detected. One of them actually already takes a hit. One of its hangar banks is down. No craft in that hangar bank, though, means it's not going to be being repaired.
Taking a look at that. They greeted the hell out of the damage control on these, hoping to never get struck. 2 teams, 1 restored. That's just a small locker.
There goes the carrier detection. Carrier spotted as Snipes is now detected. Herman almost
That's going to be a lock on it as well. Never something you want to feel as a carrier player.
Both of these carriers are going to get spotted here. Target lock goes through. Spy Eye is going to program some missiles to strike. It's possible that Spy Eye gets both carriers here. Without those carriers, SANDJOVER has nothing. Quiz.
The alert fighters on those carriers right now are all landing. There is no defenses.
Just going
to see if they can get something off the deck.
Look at all these RTBs. They're RTBing from the strike on the other Sprinter strike group here, as they are not in position to really defend. It's possible that some of these missiles might rock PD. No, it looks like those are going to strike perfectly as Spy Eye
Command,
sends some...
no jamming. Oop, a little bit of 20 mil. Meteor Flight burns back quick as they can. More SDM-2s flying out here.
Meteor Squadron is, yep, engaging here. More SDMs out on Talon Squadron here. It is a, once again, a Piranha Strike Squadron that was set to strike somewhere near A. Gets hurt pretty badly here. The fighters, for
Carrier
what it's worth,
attempt goes through again.
Pretty
They
decent
do clean it up.
at cleaning up those strikes, though. Although now
the punish kicks on as they activate their point defense field, and all those missiles going to be coming out here saying something.
The question is, will Spy Eye have enough SDM-200s to deal with this? Rockets are already out. Here goes the second salvo of hybrids. The fighters
Rockets
in
will find purchase.
formation trying to deal with the SDM-200s. Leaves the carrier open.
That's going to hit the carrier.
2 hits, another hangar bank down. Bulk mag gone! Bulk mag gone. If these hybrids kill the DC, the Restore, which is...
just barely kept alive. Front of the ship takes a hit.
Oh,
all the hangar banks are down.
Carrier. Mission killed carrier. Spy Eye, mission kills one of the carriers. Herman still active, though. Spy Eye continuing to dump missiles into Snipes here, trying to just confirm the kill. Enterprise is still active, though.
Snipes at best can restore like 1 hangar bank and get back to 5 effective launch pads. That is a crippling blow for a carrier that wants to cycle
the bulk mag is going to go down. The bulk mag's gone.
It does have a secondary mag up front, though. So it's got 163 rockets. Yeah, they doubled it.
That's another bulk mag, though, and it goes down! Yep, that's a fully mission killed carrier. Spy Eye does manage to kill one of the
second strike
carriers.
gets through. That'll do it.
ANS is not really taking advantage of the carriers being distracted right now. Most of their CLs are pulled back pretty defensively. They are now engaging.
They know there's a couple of fighters airborne, but they definitely could get a little more aggressive towards this cap plate. We also see one of the Cosmics, the triple Vauxhall, is going to probably find Hunter. Hunter pulling back with a 250 to see off these cappers.
Snipes is under fire from the triple CLs. The triple CL just pushes into the back line here.
Yeah, like, to their credit, like, I think that Spy Eye, although they may have gotten bled here, they've already gotten their money's worth. This carrier has been mission killed. Cosmic is into the backfield. We see what happens when triple CL gets eyes on this long-range shot against a bunch of these Barracudas. 250 RPF is going to rip them to shreds. We're gonna get a thumbnail for the meme. All right, so...
Oh my god, I just watched in the span of 2 seconds as Comet Squadron goes from 14 to 2 craft. That was one of Snipes' last squadrons that was still up, as Cosmic with the 250 RPF is just going to clean house back here in the back of the map. It should be worth mentioning that the other carrier is still detected. Not sure by who,
Snipes removed from the game effectively here. 5 fighters left on the board, nothing to do with them.
Should be worth mentioning, look at A right now as one of the Cosmics is pushing in to try and take the A point here. Quiz is waiting in position with the rocket liner, though. We will see if it is able to jump out. The
250 liner got hit earlier and is wounded still.
The CLs have moved back enough so that the rocket liner shouldn't be a threat, but that capper is still under threat. Meanwhile, up top is...
Rocket cap goes through on D. They will take out one of the naked ships there from Cosmic. Still, though, orbital assets... what are those? SGM-1s.
Are those S1 offensives from orbit? Holy shit! Cosmic
it's
from
tech.
Orbital offensive S1s into this Ruddle, takes out the drives.
Spy Eye here saying, okay, now I can eat my chicken sandwich. Yeah, that's their plan. Just commit to the back line and then be like, all right, yeah, I've got a chicken sandwich. I did my job. Win the game, folks.
SANDJOVER is relatively out of position here. They're going to need to start readjusting their positioning really fast here if they want to have a chance to recover from this. The CLs guarding the ACAP attempt here quite well. Lightning Squadron, though, from Herman, does have rockets and does still have fuel. It's coming in. SDM, no, those are just regular S1s. The CLs, are they empty?
RPF is currently focused on
they still have SDM
Ruddle.
200s. SDM 200s out on Lightning, although the rocket strike
the
already goes out.
Arsenal device fires.
2 rockets go out. There goes the rest, as it appears that ACAP is going to get... Is ACAP going to get denied?
It will survive, barely.
The Ruddle engages from below, but misses, as the SDM 200s are going to clean up Lightning. ANS takes A point. giving them the cap advantage right now. Meanwhile, Cosmic is pulling down with their orbital asset onto Dagger right now. Should be worth mentioning that this Ruddle is still theoretically alive. One of its rocket launchers is still up. If it can pivot that to target, it can still get the kill.
That RPF is going to hit Rock there. We'll
though.
save it for the moment. Oh, wait, hang on. Wrong Ruddle, I think we're looking at then.
Oh, there's so many fucking Ruddles right now that it's very difficult to figure out what's going on.
One of the Ruddles on decap there, I believe, is off the point. So, yeah, we will see. Cosmic has a torpedo on target for that. Act Wake, this thing will find purchase.
Yep, as that is the Ruddle disabled on Dagger.
Goodbye.
ANS is going to take the 4-cap here. It does not look like OSP has anything to do to dislodge that. Hunter does find a good angle against the Triple CL Cosmic here with their 250 liner. They do pivot that around. Oh my god, the
same
vomit
time
of
though,
STM
this is
200s. How much craft does Herman have left at this point? Not a lot. Herman is almost
R2 strike going on the SDM brick, but
the SDM counter
SDM2 is against rockets.
Oh no, it's not. Oh my god, did it work? Oh my god, it worked. The ship
takes
loses,
a reactor hit. Yep. It's fine.
It loses
this
the
ship
last
has expended
of the
all of
SDM
its munitions already.
The SDM-200 counter battery on the rockets. Oh my god.
A&O budgeting right there. ANS currently holds a 4-cap. OSP has been pretty thoroughly deplaned. Herman
They're
has
low on cappers right now.
4 flights up. Yeah. Look at the craft count right now. Most of these are going back to base. There's 5 active fighters just on patrol. The carrier currently has 5 fighters within it. They need to cycle, and this is an opportunity for ANS to just commit to this fight. We're seeing now Cosmic below the map of the Birch.
They do step onto Eclipse. One of the Cosmics in the middle of the map has already swapped the batteries of their CL over to try and deny E, although with only 1 CL in Arc, I have a feeling that's not going to go through. Although there's nothing stopping ANS from just throwing the empty reins onto a point somewhere to just retake it.
Below the map here, Cosmic with the Task Force Birch. I was trying to say, because I figured this thing would die super quick. This 250 in like plasma liner, this is facing a triple box.
It's doing a decent job of holding back the push here, although once that thing goes down.
Super R2 liner strike, heads up.
The rocket liner strike strikes onto one of Cosmic CLs here. It's going to absolutely gut that thing. Although ANS now knows that that thing is a threat. Quiz you madman, as Cosmic instantly knows.
Has another CL nearby that can start opening up on that.
It needs to start withdrawing fast. It needs to start withdrawing fast in order to open the range, or that thing is just going to run it down and annihilate it.
250 already opening up here. A little decent because some of these missiles hang out in space, but
rockets do that for some reason. I don't know why. It's a very recent thing. Was that an AMM fired at this capper on Eclipse? Huh? Okay. It detonated right before it hit and did no damage, so it either ranged out like a millisecond before striking the target, or it was just a
Hybrid's going after that capper in question, clearing the point real fast.
That is going to
Quiz
the point
burning
for a
towards
here.
Cosmic here. Cosmic burning hard away from that, knowing what that rocket liner has
Falcon
done
Squadron
to
from Herman does take out the SDM-200 air defense brick, although too little too late, as it has already bled most.
They still have 16 R2s. They're going for one of the CLs that is currently going to be facing broadside to them. Does not have the RPF fire.
250 is currently busy trying to dislodge the rocket liner here. Yeah, it's not going to be firing.
Command container called a finisher with submunitions. This will be bombs, if I had to guess. A little bit close here. No,
it should.
This might not stage
properly. Yep, no, it does stage properly. That is a bomb finisher container. The ship survives though, which means it still can enact cap war. Falcon Squadron attempts to strike some hits, not a lot though, but this liner's closing the gap really quickly on that CL.
Liner lost some of its launchers. It is going to have a little bit of issue there, as the rocket launchers aren't the toughest thing in the world, but it is rapidly approaching the hell dump range, so we'll see how that ends up going for it. Carrier in the backline is looking pretty compromised. If the Birch just pushes...
Hunter's doing a really good job of keeping that triple CL at bay with their pretty gutted 250 liner right now. Boxer is going to start getting capped by OSP here as Hunter puts their other liner on the point in the backfield right now. The CLs are starting to feel a little bit of the pressure of the remaining assets that OSP has. OSP wisely deciding to do multiple pushes at the same time. There come the rockets from the rocket liner.
Ahoy. We're going to see if this is enough. They can kick to the side if they are wise to it. Let's see the thrusters firing now. Point defense trying to do his job. They tank most of this salvo.
Hits. Still a lot of rockets left on that liner there, as there goes the second salvo. The CL forced to evade comes to a relative stop in terms of angular movement. Yep, and there
That's
goes
going
the
to be
secondary
painful.
strike. Yep, that is one CL group pretty much completely gutted here. Although there is still a lot of CLs left on ANS. ANS needs to start pivoting those CLs into the center of the map to start making sure that they stop losing points.
CL on C is going to dump its SDM2 back into Whistler flight here.
Yep, that's going to be a lot of hits as Whistler is going to get pretty gutted here.
Yeah.
Fire now pivoting to Hunter's 2D liner here, which is currently mags down. This thing is really gutted. Cosmic is...
This liner is the only thing stopping that Birch trio from pushing onto the carrier and completely removing OSP's presence from this game.
Which it looks like the triple CL is already starting to do. They're already getting fire on Hunter there. They see the fighters moving back towards the carrier. They have a relative idea on where it is.
Another rocket dump as they try and clean up the CL below E here. This has taken a lot more rockets than Quiz wants to expend on this. You see here, still to this point, they're continuing to dodge. Hybrid comes out here. That's going to boop the liner in the nose. Takes out more of the rocket turrets. This thing only has so many restores.
I mean, it already got its points worth disabling 2 CLs, but trading 2 CLs for one of your last available liners is not really a trade.
Task Force Birch has just found
carrier.
Herman.
Enterprise has been detected here under 250 fire. That is going to add up really quickly. Triple CL is going to absolutely tear this thing apart. As
trying to run with the Sun Drive, it is very squishy.
Yep.
This HE is not quite getting the hits they want. They just need to get a little bit closer. Starting to see some of the impacts now as the hangar banks flash. There they go.
Yep. Not a lot of craft left with on OSP, though. Although this carrier will die, I think it was probably effectively out of the game a much earlier state, as Herman just has very, very few things left to throw at the enemy. Hunter, with the Cosmic using the long-range torpedoes, gets some pretty devastating hits on Hunter's liner at Boxer. That's a structure break, no restores left, as most of it is redded out here. OSP, although they did a really good job of bleeding ANS of their ships here, ANS just has enough left to hold these points here. A is going to start being taken here as Ruddle. No, that's just a T20 capper steps onto A, although this CL group
Ruddle will be on
really
D point instead.
To retake it. Hunter is, or sorry, yeah, Hunter, they're going to lose their last, one of their 250 liners on C there.
So this is a really very interesting game.
Nothing really stopping the E-cap here, as OSP is likely going to take it as well. ANS just needs to pivot their CLs back into the map to finish off the scattered cappers that the Protectorate still has.
More R2s coming out from E point. They're trying to clean up Cosmic Eradicator's Corvette, see if they can maybe flip some points here. Score is still pretty close, about 120 point difference here. Cosmic with a single gun drifts towards the E point here. They're going to try and contest this against the rocket liner, forced to expend more ammunition. For what it's worth, Herman trying to get their fighters back. They found some semblance of cover, but the triple Vox Cosmic is relentlessly pursuing this. They're just burning towards the top of the map.
They still have a lot of rockets left, but their craft count has been pretty bled. They can still put out effective strikes, but against CLs, I'm not entirely convinced it's going to be enough to appropriately turn
active
the tides here.
PD grid there, as well as just the firepower.
The CL on Eclipse is still functional, even after taking all those rockets. Is still going to be able to contest Eclipse for a while here. UNC Quiz is already rotating that liner to try and finish the kill here.
Quiz
although Eclipse is going to be
have a nose gun
here.
on this. If I can find where the dang mount on this thing is.
It still has Piranhas,
C-53. Yeah. Should be able to finish this off with some ruddleage.
There goes.
Ruddle attempt.
Oh! Is there an arm?
Hang on a sec. Do they have an
S2 arming missile in the backpack is going to hold Eclipse.
Incredible stuff here.
OSP in shambles
Honestly,
right
shout
now
out to Freakbob's
as-
Fenthouse for the hard read and the mind games of this. Picking a
Right.
beam-favored map and they just purely saying, okay, we know you've run this double carrier build before. You have this in your pocket. We're going to hard read you and just come in with the mass SDM2, flank your Corvette, held dive, the backline style. Cosmic is going to get their point defense guns onto the carrier now. Honestly, if this Vauxhall just walks a little bit closer, we might see the rebounds of defenders completely deplane the OSP.
We will see. Fulcrum gets out, though, has strike available. It is going to strike onto the seal here. A&M's
Seal
do
takes a
go
couple hits
out
there.
to try and defend, although it looks like they get distracted by the craft rather than trying to go for the rockets. The seal, a little bit injured, still relatively functional, though.
ECAP Quiz finally going to take out the arming missile on that Vauxhall. Finally managed to put that thing in the dirt after who knows how many strikes that was. I want to say there's like 4 or 5 attempts to kill that thing off proper.
Anus retaking B and A simultaneously here as Cosmic, oh my god, diverts around Hunter's liner guarding the B point there, getting completely around it. Hunter will likely win that fight there, although they are severely damaged. Dagger is now under threat as Cosmic is splitting up their CLs to try and retake the points here. For what it's worth, OSP doing a relatively good job of maintaining these cap points despite losing a lot of their ships here as, Hybrids out on Quiz's rocket liner here. They do get intercepted by
will find purchase in a
AMMs,
second
or at least
if-
the first salvo gets intercepted by AMMs. The second one successfully stages, but they stage on a dead ship, and they miss
These were
the target.
CMD Hodge by the looks of it. I think they got warbled instead there. They did a little weird wiggle.
Right.
250 from this Vauxhall will clean up a lot of Quiz and Liner. They don't have restores left, and like we said before,
Very
these
low
rocket turrets
on
are pretty
rockets.
squishy.
Yep, completely empty on rockets, yeah, as Eclipse is now in danger. ANS does manage to resecure the 3 camp, which gives them time to get their ships back in position from their backline hunts that they were on.
Yep.
How is the CL not detecting that carrier? By Dagger, what?
That's
Missing panels,
a
probably?
good question.
It's a para.
Looks
Okay, so it's missing panels.
like
I think it's the panel. Yeah, it's
bottom
the panel,
left missing,
The panel
yep.
that's facing the carrier is the one that's knocked out by the rocket strikes. The carrier
Unfortunate.
does manage to go dark there.
Speaking of rocket strikes, Quiz does still have a Ruddle with 26 rockets in the tubes going towards C point here. They're going to look for the back cap, try and swing this to a 3 cap. OSP's bled very badly, but so is ANS. So really, it's both teams just trying to, with the scrappy ships that they have left, get on the cap points and hold a 3 cap.
Right. We will see which team is able to do that.
Despite the damage, Herman's still managing to field some fighters here. They're getting a not insignificant amount out, despite like their hangar banks being crippled earlier.
Boxer being
This might
resecured
come back to bite
by
them.
OSP. Meanwhile, the battle for E continues as the CL continues to try and disable the combat effectiveness of this this rocket's liner. One of the guns still firing. There goes the mag, though, as Eclipse and
D
the
point
CLC,
rocket
yep.
strike through as Griffin comes in and is going to find purchase. That is a very crippled Vauxhall.
Ooh, that
2
was the
guns
one that
and
was
its
attempting
mid-sack.
to cap D as well. That's rough. C point
C
now
cap
being
in
recaptured
progress.
here as ANS is just not doing a good enough job of clearing up these last remaining light assets from around the map.
Oop, reactor bloom on the E point side. That's going to briefly illuminate the liner. Doesn't get the cook on it. Actually, hang on. No, does scorch the armor decently.
This liner is already pretty gutted, though, on Eclipse. It is still holding the point, though, probably due to an arming missile, I would assume. Yes,
arming missile or
is
nose
still
gun? Looks like
active
nose.
on a VLS launcher on one of the shoulder mounts near the bridge.
Yep, there you are.
ANS is actually in danger of losing this on caps, as their camp reattempts here have mostly... Yeah, the CLs are going to the wrong locations as 2 CLs are
CL
committed
moves
onto E
off of A point towards B side. Crippled rocket shuttle with damage team trying to fix it below the map. That could step onto A, but that would be a lot of time gone. Cosmic moves to reinforce E points here, which honestly there's so many Cosmics in this game you can't keep straight which one's which.
Cosmic pivoting
If ECAP
onto
goes
Boxer as
through-
well, trying to clear Boxer for an ANS retake here. Quiz doing an excellent
Bombs
job
out on
of just-
Dagger, gonna hit the CL there. Doesn't kill it, but still keeps it crippled for the moment, denying them that cap they
Dagger
should get.
needs to be capped ASAP from ANS. Cosmic is already... Yeah, ANS needs to divert these ships to points ASAP, or else they are going to lose on points. The
was
Boxer
finally
fight,
dying on E point
the
there,
Boxer
despite
fight
their valiant
happening
effort.
now as Quiz sets one of their CLs to finish off Hunter's damaged liner guarding B. Eclipse finally being captured. Cosmics need to divert to caps immediately, or else they are going to start bleeding points here. They do still have the cap advantage, which means they still have time, but with their little remaining CLs, they need to start pivoting really quickly here.
Quiz might be trying for vengeance here against one of the Cosmic CLs above E cap. They do have the Ruddle nose onto that direction. They're likely looking for this.
Still has Piranha rockets, yep.
Yeah.
Hephaestus is in danger of getting struck here.
Again, more bomb strikes attempted on the D point, but these are just the KBU-15s. They don't quite have the damage needed.
They're just trying to slow down the CL enough to keep it from stepping onto the point, as Herman is just going to continue to salvo out strikes just in a desperation play to try and keep that ship from stepping on to
5 meters a second to keep this thing from it. Current score is 770 to 712 on the board. 3 cap OSP, 2 cap for ANS. Anyone's game still. The B point looking like it might decide this. If they can dislodge this very wounded liner, they should be able to get this cap.
Fencer
it is structure
Squadron.
broken. So
Fencer Squadron is committed on Boxer, though. Herman, with one last strike, is just desperately trying to clear up space here. The liner does get disabled on the point there. It's mags down. It gets killed. ANS is going to take the B point here. As the strike does not arrive in time to destroy that CL, it is possible that they might be able
Rocket
to
Strike
that
could take out the CL, but they will also have to kill off that Capper Corvette if they have the awareness. They're going to see it now and are beelining towards it, trying to deny.
Guns
That's going to walk them right into the
RPF
Vauxhall.
swap to Fencer Squadron. 250 RPF now out on Fencer. AMM's out as well to try and dislodge this strike as much as possible. The AMM's forced defensive from the squadron.
That is a lot of cleanup. Duster Flight down to three planes. They desperately split, trying to fire on the Corvette, see if they can get something done. B-Cap will go through for the ANS here, as Duster Flight is heading back to the carrier with their head between their legs.
Hephaestus rounds the corner onto C. The Ruddle diverted back to A to try and retake the A-Cap there. So it looks like, although Cosmic is in position near A, Cosmic is near position on A with a really healthy CL. If they can detect that Ruddle and kill it before it engages,
Quiz burning
it is
right
detected.
now.
It is detected. Is Kaiser paying attention? The guns
Instantly
pivoting
see the guns
to
cycling
the
to
wrong
another
target.
Where are they
They're
going?
pivoting to Duster as the CL begins moving closer to that Ruddle. Although, yeah, now the guns
New
pivoting
fire
over
order
to the
issued.
Ruddle
They
to
see
try
it
and
now.
deny A. C point under threat now as Hephaestus is just going to step onto the point. Active decoy out from Cosmic's CL. Fascinating. Not sure what that is going for. Possibly to try and jam out the Ruddle to help the other CL,
Maybe.
but that's
Quiz going for the
really
dump while they can, trying to see if they can get some
Flak
shots here.
and
Arc
defenders,
from that range.
Flak and defenders
Yep.
and Arc, though, is going to clean up that rocket strike quite effectively there.
Overlapping
Under
PD Arc
250
there,
fire.
just going to see none of that hit.
That's under 250 RPF.
Which game number?
Fire.
This is
We will
round
see
2.
We'll see if that Ruddle manages to survive long enough to take the 8 point there, although it does not look like it will. It is
D-Cap going to go through as well. GG
Snipes
call.
calling GG. Yep. Dagger stepped onto
Freakbob's
his
Fenthouse,
ANS
the
as
read
well.
of the century.
They almost lost it in the end. They're not pivoting their CLs onto cap points fast enough. SANDJOVER doing a really excellent job of preserving the ships they still had left after the really decisive anti-carrier strike at the beginning, as they are able to successfully preserve their assets into the late game, giving them a fighting chance to the end. Freakbob's Fenthouse losing a lot of ships in those attrition engagements at the end of the game, down to just a couple functional CLs and a couple functional Corvettes, although they are able to just hang in there long enough to take the game.
Taking a look at that STM-2 frigate, that thing was lethal. 62 interception successes here. That is a
73
lot
targets
of carrier.
assigned, 80 expended, 62 successful interceptions, as the read of the century guts the entirety of OSP of their craft. Herman with only 4 craft left at the end there. Snipes
To their
carrier
credit, still
completely gutted.
34.5k on the board.
Right.
Despite the read here, like, OSP put some numbers in. Those liners here that we're seeing, the R2 liner, that pulled 26k damage. Quiz doing a very good job with the cap war while they could. We see Snipes only able to pull 6k as they were the target of opportunity. They got jumped by 6 sprinters in a trench coat.
Right. Spy did a really excellent strat at disabling those the carriers in the back line. They were only able to get one. They traded their entire fleet for it, although it did push OSP back quite far, allowing the Triple CL to find the back line and disable one of Hunter's liners there and put pressure on Herman. For what it's worth, Herman doing an excellent job of still getting strikes out despite being under threat for so long. The CLs do a really good job of mopping up pretty much all of Quiz's and Hunter's cappers here. The 250 liners hanging in as long as they can, but they were not meant to fight those triple CL and even double CL groups there, and it really did show. By the end of the game, they were pretty much eviscerated. For what it's worth, though, the various rocket shuttles and the rocket liner around the map able to gut ANS's CL groups quite effectively there. It was down to 3 functional CLs, 1 heavily damaged one, and a couple of Corvettes. Both teams heavily bled at the end there.
Can't agree more. OSP was caught off guard by the surprise all-in counterattack, but they adapted quite well, all things considered. They knew they were on the back foot and were trying their best with the Ruddles and desperation, like liner strikes against those CLs. They did very well, but just didn't quite have enough at the end of the day.
Right.